Hello, my name's Luke. In this video, I'm going to show you how to automate your meeting notes using AI and Zapier so you never have to manually write notes again, and you have one place to easily access all the cool notes from your business in one place. This is perfect if you're an agency owner or consultant and you have multiple calls per day, whether those be team calls, sales calls, or client calls. Now, before I get into this, I just want to introduce myself for those who don't know. My name's Luke, I'm the founder at Click Systems. We help 6- and 7-figure agencies streamline their internal operations by building systems that enable them to scale. Now, over the coming weeks, I'm going to be sharing more in-depth and advanced system tutorials that you can install to scale your business more easily. But for now, I want to start off with this very simple system that's just going to make your life much more easier when it comes to your meetings and calls. Now, finally, before I get into it, if you could like and subscribe and support the channel, as I said, I'd really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. Okay, so let's get into the actual system, how to automate your meeting notes. So for this system, we're going to be using 3 core softwares: FireFlies, Zapier, and Airtable. Okay, and in the video, or this video, I'm going to show you how to actually set this up and basically have it so that all of your meeting notes for any of your calls get automatically uploaded to a database, and then those cool notes and action items can be kept in that database and even pinged into your Slack. Okay, so what this essentially means is, and for myself I have this set up, I never have to write any notes manually again, and everything is tracked within the call from what we discussed and even the action items. So for example, if I have a call with my team, we don't have to write any notes, we simply just do the call. Once we end the call, a couple minutes later, the AI note taker will ping through into Slack all of the summary of the call, as well as the action items for each and every attendee that was in the team. So it will say, Luke has to do this, has to do this, has to do this. Team member 1 needs to do this, needs to do this, needs to do this. Team member 2, and so on. So what this just means is that I never have to worry about taking notes within calls again. And as I said, I'm going to show you how to set this up for every type of call that you have as well, whether it be a sales call, a client call, or a team call. Okay, so first things first is FireFlies. This is a tool that I highly recommend. Now, as I said, you might be using a AI note taker already, such as Fathom, maybe Read AI or Scribble. Those are some other tools that you can use. I'll be honest, I was using Read AI before this, but I found it quite limited, and the AI, for whatever reason, didn't capture the transcript as well in the actual call until a client actually recommended to me to start using FireFlies.AI. And once I did, I just found that the level of detail that FireFlies is able to create from the AI notes that it takes from your call is way, way better and way more in depth. And it connects to Zapier, which is good as well. So the pricing for FireFlies, I believe I'm on this monthly pro plan here, so $18 per month, which I think is a reasonable price, especially if you're having multiple calls per day. So that's the first step, right? We have FireFlies. So I won't go into how to set that up now because it is quite straightforward. You just choose your plan, log in, and when you join a Google Meets call or a Zoom call, you can basically have it automatically get added to the call, or you can just manually add it to the call if you want to as well. Okay, so I will go ahead and set up that. And as I said, the next step now is Zapier, because what we want is once those AI notes are taken from a call, usually what happens is it will just send you an email and it will just store it within the actual software you're using. So for example, FireFlies, it will just store the call notes within there, okay, which isn't really ideal because I personally never check this software here. I just want it running in the background. And also emails as well, that can just get lost in the kind of ocean of many emails that you probably receive on a daily basis, right? So what you want to do, as I said, is get FireFlies and then get an account on Zapier, and then connect that FireFlies account to your Zapier account. And then what I have here is an automation that basically whenever a new meeting is recorded within FireFlies, it's then going to add that meeting into Airtable. Okay. Now Airtable is what I use to manage the entirety of my business. It's also the software we use to build out systems for clients. So what we basically do is build full on dashboards for our clients so they can basically organize everything within their business, streamline all the internal processes, and just give them complete control over every area of their business. So this is actually my one. I'll just reduce my my video here. So you can see this is the dashboard. I'm going to be going into this kind of dashboard, how you can build this yourself over the coming weeks. But as you can see, I have the meeting section and I have my call notes. And you can see here that I have all notes here, but I also have them broken down by team, sales, and clients, right? So I can really go into these. I can also open these up as well into more detail. Okay, so this is an interface. It's a little bit advanced. You probably don't need this right now. But as I said, the system in a nutshell, the way it kind of flows is once a call is recorded in FireFlies, Zapier then adds it to Airtable. I should probably add one more step to this, which is Airtable pings that into a Slack channel, right? So if I just update that to Slack, right? So now I'm going to show you how to set this up and how you can do it yourself. So as I said, once you've created that on FireFlies, create that account, you then want to come to Zapier and create a new Zap. And then what you want to do is set the trigger as FireFlies new meeting. So I'll show you how I've got it here. I've got the setup as the app as FireFlies, the event as a new meeting. And then on the configure step, I have the transcript format is a docx. Include speaker names, no. Include timestamps, yes. Notes list format, plain. That's just what I have it as. You can feel free to play around with that. And then test it and you should see one come through. And then Airtable, this is now where we're going to set up our kind of Airtable database so that you can basically store all of your previous call notes in one place, so it's very easy to find. So what you want to do is come over to Airtable here. This is my Airtable, and what you want to do in the bottom left is create a base, okay? So what we want to do is click Start from Scratch, okay, and select your workspace, so Start from Scratch. And now what we've done is we've created a base within Airtable where we can now basically build out our table for all of our call notes to go. So I'm just going to rename this call notes like this. And then what we're going to do is you can delete these 3 columns like this. So if you're unfamiliar with Airtable, it's basically a more advanced Google Sheets. Now, you don't need to use Airtable to store your notes. In all honesty, you could use anything. You could use Google Sheets, even like Google Docs, or you could just ping it straight into Slack. It's completely up to you. As I said earlier, I like to have one place to centralize all the information within my business, so it's super easy to find. So that I obviously have this part here, right? So again, I'm just showing you this so you can also set it up. And as I said, I do recommend Airtable because you can build out really custom systems and just get everything running nice and smooth. So what you want to do is you want to double click on this first column and change it to a date format, right? So we're changing this and we're going to rename it date created. Okay, and then we're going to go to, I like to make it a friendly format, include time, and then we're going to default to the current date. So like this, and click save. Okay, so you can actually delete these other rows here, and then we're going to add some additional columns that we would like to pull the data from FireFlies into Airtable, right? So as I said, FireFlies actually tracks a lot of stuff. It tracks the whole transcript, and then what it does is it generates the transcript into a summary, but it also comes through as summary bullet points and even action item bullet points as well, as I mentioned, and a few other things as well. So you can customize it however you want, but just to show you how you can do it in a more basic way. So I'm just going to add a few things here. I'm going to add a long text, and I'm going to name this call summary like this, and I'm going to enable rich text formatting and click create. Then I'm going to create another long text and call this action items like this, and then I'm going to click here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to also add the duration. So we're going to do again a single line text field, and I'm going to put duration like this because I like to see the call duration. And if you want, you can put in a long text of the attendees as well, okay, if you would like to include this stuff. So as I said, you can play around with it, but this is kind of the basic stuff that you need for now. And then we can also rename our table meeting notes, something like this. And now what we need to do is now we've got this database created, we need to now go and test our Zap. So what you want to do is, as I said, is create the Zap and select it as FireFlies, and then within Airtable, you're going to select that as the next step. So we're going to choose Airtable, create a record, and then obviously select and connect your Airtable account, and then we're going to go to configure, and then we're going to choose the base. For this instance, this is my base here, I have the meetings. And then in the, actually I forgot to add the event name, so I'm going to add one more to the left here, which would be the event name like this. So put that as a single text. So now we have the date it was created, the event name, the call summary, the action items, the duration of the call, and the attendees, okay? So now what you can do is you can configure those fields in Zapier themselves. So if I actually edit this and show you what I specifically mean. So within here now, if I make this bigger, you can see there was the event. I put in the event title from that step 1. So the event title like this, and then you add that in there. The call summary, I put that in, and for this I used a bullet gist. So you can actually type that in here. So bullet gist like this. and you can see that we have the bullet gist, but you can see there's all these different ones. There's super summary, shorthand bullet, super summary overview, short summary, all these different types of summaries that Fireflies offers, which again is why I like it. So what I like to have is just a short condensed list of bullets on the meeting summary, what was spoken about. And then, as I said, we have the action items as well. So in the action items field, you're going to click this, and I do the super summary action items. But again, you can do any of the ones that they provide. So super summary action items like this. And you'll see they're here somewhere, super summary list action items, or you could type in, super summary action items here, right? So as I said, what that will do now, it will provide the action items in that field here, right? So what I'll do is I'll actually pause this quickly. Okay, so I've configured it to go to this new table that we've created because I want to test it and show you how it works. So now I'm going to click test. And now you can see a record was sent to Airtable. So now if we go back to Airtable, you can see that we have this new record come through. That is now the date it was created, the event name, the call summary. The action items are actually there. They just need to be expanded. And you can see that the action items have come through. Now, it's probably not the best example because this call was just quite a basic call I had. But as I said, that now has given me a full breakdown of the event name, the introduction and everything we spoke about in the call, as well as the action items, and it stored it into here, okay, which is super handy. So all I had to do was show up to the call, do the call itself. Once I ended the call, this will now ping into here. So this is now somewhere where we can organize all of this stuff, okay? And if you want to organize it further, you can also set up like filters on these views here. So you can duplicate this, and you can call this sales calls, right? And then what we can do is we can filter the event name to only show or contains a keyword from your sales calls. So for me, my discovery calls are called system strategy calls, right? So if I type in systems strategy call like this, you can see that it comes in here. But if I was to create a new one, you can see it disappears, right? Because it hasn't got that event name, right? And then also what you can do is you can duplicate this and call this team calls, and then you put in, instead of having the filter as system strategy call, you would put in, let's say it's called team call, is the event name that happens on your calendar, right? So that way you can organize your sales calls, your team calls, and your client calls as well, and then you can have this main one as all calls like this, and this will show all of them, right? So for example, if I put in here team call like this, that should now show in here when it loads. Here, so you can see now the team call is showing because the filter matches team call, right? So again, you can organize your calls further, okay? And then the last thing I want to show you is once you have now set up this simple automation, you click publish, and now this is going to start tracking and pinging those into Airtable. But then what you can do is the last step is to now ping these into Slack, right? So I use Slack a lot. My clients use Slack a lot. I really recommend it. It doesn't have to be for your client communication, but it can also be for just all your internal operations, okay, and all your internal communications with your team. And I like to have dedicated channels for different processes throughout the business. So what you want to do is head over to Slack, and I would create a private channel called Call Notes, okay? And then what we can do is we can now use Airtable automation to ping the notes into Slack, okay? So what you want to do is head over to the automation tab, and then here we're going to create an automation now. So what you want to do is when a record is created, okay, I'll just move myself. So when a record is created, that means when basically a new meeting is triggered in Fireflies and is added into Airtable, okay, we want to now ping that into Slack. So I'm going to select the table as the meeting notes table, so that's the one. I'm going to choose a record. I'm going to do this one that we tested. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to now add a step, which is to send a Slack message. So yeah, Airtable connects with Slack, it connects with Microsoft Teams, Gmail, Google Calendar, all these different things. So it really helps you automate the kind of nitty-gritty parts of the business. So what we can do is we can click send message, and then here we can now choose our Slack account, so you want to go and connect that, and then we can now select our channel or user. So for this instance, I created a private channel called Call Notes, okay, so I should be able to see that now within here. If I type in Call Notes, you can see it's here. And then now what we can do is we can put in our message. So I'm going to put channel, like @channel, so it notifies the team. And then I'm going to put in the data from the from the call that happened. Okay, so just a quick tip: if you put the asterisk symbol next to the word, it will actually make it bold. So I'm going to do, sorry, not bold, bold, should I say? Call summary, and then I'm going to click on the plus symbol here to add the data from the call that was created in Airtable. So I'm going to click on this plus symbol, and you can see I want to put the call summary here, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put again the asterisk symbol, and I'm going to put action items like this, and then 2 spaces down. If I make this bigger actually, just so you can see, 2 spaces down, I'm going to click the plus symbol again, and then I'm going to put in the action items here. Okay, so now we can name our bot, so we can say call summary like this, and we can put in again the plus symbol. We can pull that data from here, and we can do the event name, so the event name, and then bot icon, you can put one in here if you want. I'm just going to leave that for now. And then we can also rename this to meeting notes, and then we can notify in Slack like this. And then what we can do is we can now test it, so we can run a test. And in Slack now, we should see this message come through, right? So it's come through as channel call summary, and it's actually brought through the message with the action item. So the message isn't actually formatted, so maybe I selected the wrong type on here. So what you do is you want to play around with the different options that Fireflies give you. As I said, there's a lot in here, as you can see. There's all these different types. There's super summary keywords, super summary shorthand bullet, super summary overview. There's all these different ones that you can test out and see which ones you prefer. But as I said, it's just been really helpful for me, because it's just basically pinged in every call that I've had into here, as well as the action item. So if it's a team call, I can just ping that straight into my team chat, and they know what they need to do. And even in a more advanced system, you could get these action items to be created as tasks in your project management, but that's probably a whole entire other system maybe for the future that I will show you on that. So as I said, I hope this video has been valuable. It is a simple system, but at the end of the day, it's really here to help you just make those little kind of manual, tedious things you have to do on a day-to-day basis that much more easier. And as I said, the less you have to do, the less note-taking you have to do, you can actually focus on your calls and actually engage in better conversations with your team, with prospects, and with clients, okay? So yeah, hope this video has been helpful. Any questions, drop them below the video. And yeah, if you can, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, because over the coming weeks, I am going to be bringing out way more videos on more in-depth systems, how you can really streamline your internal operations. And if you are running an agency and you're working with more than 10 clients, or you're doing 6 or 7 figures per month, and you would like to just streamline the entire internal operations and processes within your business, do book a call below this video with me, where we'll jump on, have a simple conversation to see what your current systems and processes look like, and I can take you through the actual systems that I build out for my clients who are doing 45K per month and more, some clients even doing 300K per month, okay? So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.